Review for Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai from 1999. Very interesting movie, very different than what, even I'm used to watching. It follows Forrest Whitaker, who is very into samurai culture, Japanese culture. He is a hitman for the mob, basically. So the synopsis: an African American mafia hitman who models himself after the samurai of old finds himself targeted for death by the mob. So yeah, it's like his employers turn on him for honestly a very almost petty reason, and and that's the beginning of the movie. So we got Forrest Whitaker, very good actor. I've enjoyed him in many movies. I think he's really good in this. He doesn't say that much, but very entertaining movie. Um, maybe a little slow, but that's on purpose. I think it's trying to be like an old samurai movie too. So, which to be honest, I haven't seen that many, but I've seen some, and they have kind of a slower pace, and like an older movie also, which is fine. He is living in, I think it's New York City, and basically one day, this takes place years before. He is a younger guy, and he's getting beat up, and he's almost killed by someone. And this guy, John Tormey, who plays Louie in the movie, who unfortunately died last year, apparently, but sees this happening, and then he just says, like, what's going on here? The guy pulls a gun out. Then this guy is a mobster. He pulls a gun out and he shoots the guy, saves his life, and then I think just leaves. And years later, Forrest Whitaker shows up to his door, and Louie says this, so we don't actually see it, with a bird on his shoulder, and basically he becomes employed by him as a hitman. They communicate by pigeon, by messenger pigeon, and he's I think he said he's been a hitman for him for like 8 years or 10 years, and he says he's like the best he's ever had. He pays him once a year, um, at the beginning of autumn, I think, and they just communicate by pigeon. He never sees him. He just gives him a hit, and he goes and does it. Um, so and this is in the very beginning of the movie. He goes on a hit for someone in the mob, but the mobsters, one of the head mobsters' daughter, is in love with this guy. So she's at the house. She's not supposed to be there. Louie was told she wouldn't be there. He goes in, and he takes the guy out. He didn't realize the girl was like around the corner in the house. He then turns, she's there, and he doesn't kill her, but he leaves. But the mobsters are very angry about this, because the guy was killed in front of her. And they try and take him out, and I'm kind of like, it's your own fault. They told Louie that she wouldn't be there, that she was like on a bus going somewhere. She was there, and it's not his fault. It's not Ghost Dog's fault. It's, their fault, I guess, for wanting the guy taken out. He's just doing his job. So they're very angry at him, and they try to find out where he lives, and they try and take him out. This is directed by Jim Jarmusch, who's an interesting filmmaker. Oh, okay. Did he do The Dead Don't Die? Okay. I've heard that's good, but I haven't seen like a lot of his movies. Um, I've heard of Coffee and Cigarettes, Broken Flowers. He's a very acclaimed director. Dead Man with Johnny Depp. So Stranger Than Paradise. But yeah, his first movie was in 1980. He's a very acclaimed director. This is the only movie of his I've seen. Should probably check out The Dead Don't Die. I think Bill Murray's in that. So, um, but yeah, I've always liked this movie. I saw it years ago. I liked it then. Just rewatched it. It's an enjoyable movie. It's kind of interesting. It has this theme of times are changing. Like the mob in the movie, honestly, they're like barely a mob. It's like really they're a bunch of old guys, and I mean they are like ruthless killers, but and they kill a number of people in the movie, but kind of like old guys. And you know, in the movie, like what one of the guys that their clubhouse, he's like months behind on rent to the landowner. He says he's going to tell the marshal. So it's kind of interesting. It's like it's not like the glory days of the mob. I think that's what it's trying to establish. There's a lot of guys in here that I think are in other mob movies. The Sopranos. Frank Adonis. Yeah, he's in Goodfellas, Raging Bull. Um, One of them I think is in I'm pretty sure this guy's in. Okay, he's in Casino. Okay, I swore I thought he was in The Sopranos. Gene Ruffini. So, um, but yeah, there's kind of that theme, and then he's kind of part of that the ways are changing, that they don't respect the old ways anymore, that he represents, and kind of, I think they kind of represent, but in a distorted fashion, I would say. So his master, basically his samurai master, is Louie, because he owes him his life. But I mean, he pays him, you know, to do his job, which he's very good at. He like electronically steals expensive cars. He then does his mission. He wears gloves. There's nothing to trace him to his targets. He has a friend in the park. Um, let's see, who is that guy? Let's see, what's his name? Okay, I can't find his name, but he's this. I think he's Haitian, and he only speaks French. But he is he sells ice cream in the park, and he calls him his best friend. It's his only friend. And yeah, and then the mob comes after him and tries and take him out, but spoilers. I mean, they don't accomplish their goal. He starts taking them out. He wounds his master in the arm. Basically, this mobster's coming to take out Louie because they want to take him out too, because they kind of blame him for what happened with Ghost Dog. Ghost Dog is there. He takes him out, and then he shoots his master in the arm, and he's like, just tell him that I tried to take you out and that guy out. And then he shoots him again in the exact same place in the arm at the end. The end has a really cool sequence where he's taking out like the head boss, and he just does it like through a pipe. Like the guy's in his bathroom, he undoes the plumbing below, and he just takes him out through a pipe. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, and then I kind of like I like the scene with the bear. And he after he takes out some mobsters in the country, he's driving, he sees these two guys, they killed a bear, black bear. He doesn't like that, Ghost Dog, and he's like, asks them, why'd you do that? And they said, oh, there's not many of these left around, so if you see one, they take it out. And he's like, that's why you did it? Like, that's not a good reason. So he takes them out too. And yeah, it's just kind of a slower paced movie. It reminds me of like a movie from like the 60s or something. Definitely a samurai influenced movie, but a different pace than even a movie from the 90s. Um, and yeah, I really enjoy it. I like the beginning when Ghost Dog's talking about how he contemplates about his own death, and he said a samurai at all times contemplates about his own death, about his own mortality. That you should live in the moment. So yeah, some of the books that he talks about, I may want to read. I've seen Rashomon, the movie, which I think is a collection of short stories, and one of them is Rashomon, which is a plot that unfolds from different perspectives. So, but if you haven't seen the movie, check it out. I mean, I think the spoilers I've said are pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious that it wasn't smart for them to go after Ghost Dog, and they did, and he took them out. So I don't think it's much of a spoiler. I don't think it ruins anything. I think the direction and Forest Whitaker are really the driving forces behind the movie. But yeah, that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.